Okay, so first things first, I fixed my candle from the last video, and I don't know if you can really see it because it's so bright outside, but it does still work. So we're just gonna stick that right there, even though y'all probably can't really tell that it's on. It is more for me. And then also it's raining, so because of that I was just thinking about crying, not because I'm sad or anything, but I don't know, like the earth is crying, so it's just like, oh, crying. And so we're gonna talk about like the top 5 reasons that over the course of the 10 years that I've been living in and out of cars that I have cried, that you probably, I don't know, I would think that maybe you wouldn't expect all of these, but I guess we'll see. And also I just did a job where I was out in Colorado for like a week or so, and I have a lot of like footage from it that's pretty, and like to me it's exciting, but I don't really feel like making like a whole video out of it or whatever. So basically over here I'm just gonna show you clips from the trip that are like really cool, and yeah, gonna tell you about these random reasons that I've cried while living in a van or a car or a vehicle, whatever. So we'll start with like the most, like what I would consider to maybe be the most relatable one, and then we'll work our way up. So starting at number 5, and honestly I wish I had like a more concise like wording for all of these, but this is like super off the cuff because it's mainly so I can like show you this Colorado footage, and then like I don't know, it's like I just need to talk about something, we'll talk about this. But as I was saying, number 5 is like, so sometimes I'll just go quite a while without being in a place where people are maybe like the most like-minded as myself, which is like totally fine, you know, it's whatever. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but when that happens and then I end up in an environment where I am around a lot of like similar people or like-minded people or whatever, people who just appreciate the same things, like it kind of gets to me sometimes. So like recently I was on this hike and there was this lady in front of me, and I'm just, you know, we're just like walking, like not even talking to each other, whatever, and she's like kind of ahead of me, and then she's like, oh my goodness, like look at this tree is so beautiful, and then she takes out her phone to like film the tree, and I was like, oh my god. Or like I was somewhere else and I was outside, and it was like at the like job thing that I did, so I was like at this festival, and someone else was like, hey look, like there's the Big Dipper, and then like another day someone else was like, oh look at the moon, isn't it so pretty? And I'm just like, oh, like I don't know, there's a lot of times where I'm that person where I'm like, hey guys, like look at the moon, look at the stars, look at the tree, look at the bird, and it's like cool, you know, because like I appreciate that stuff and I love that stuff and I don't mind being the person to like point it out, but then it's just nice to have it flipped sometimes where I'm in the environment and like other people are pointing it out. Does that make sense? Maybe not, but whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if these are relatable or not, but like I'm just telling you all my personal experience, and it's happened like on a pretty consistent basis. Like all 5 of these have, which is why I'm like they make the list. But yeah, so there's that. Okay, so number 4, which this one has to be relatable for people who like have been nomadic for a hot minute. Okay, like you can't tell me it's not, otherwise like what basically it's the aspect of like crying or being really sad, but like for me that that means crying just a little bit, you know. But anyways, when you're like sad over the place or the people that you're with, but like you know you're gonna leave, so it's kind of like, it's like a really bittersweet moment, right? It's like you're trying to be present, you're trying to appreciate where you are, because where you are is beautiful, the people you're around is beautiful, are beautiful, whatever, but then at the end of the day, like you still in one part of your brain are remembering the fact that like this isn't forever, this isn't like, you know, you're gonna have to leave in like tomorrow, the next day, a few days, and like quite realistically, like the last place like I went with like a group of people that was like at first strangers and then became friends, like someone else said it and I was like, bro, why are you saying the quiet part out loud, you know, because he was like, yeah, he's like, this is so cool, whatever, he's like, and it's very realistic that I might never see any of you again. I was like, oh, why would you say that? Because it's like, it's so true, it's like, yeah, realistically, like there's so many people you meet, so many places you go, and it's like you have to just kind of like treasure it for that very moment, because it is so real that like we're bonding, we're cool, like everything is great, we're having fun, but realistically like I may never ever see you again. And it's like, I don't know, it makes me sad, you know, but like it's cool, it's like it's part of the experience and I wouldn't trade it for the world, but at the same time it's like I have feelings, you know, and so in that moment, or in those moments, yeah, sometimes I just like low-key cry about it. Okay, so now we're on number 3, and this one honestly maybe I'm just like a big baby with these last 3, but like it's not like oh, this thing happens and then I cry about it. It's like, it's kind of like when you're in a car, sometimes the little things, especially when they happen consistently or you have to deal with it a lot, you just kind of get like, I don't want to say stressed, but like they can really just like weigh you down. So it's like something that maybe doesn't sound like a big deal, like really is at the end of the day. So number 3 is like, I definitely have cried multiple times over the years because I've just been bit by too many mosquitoes, dude. Like too many at once. Like I'm talking like 12, 10, anywhere from like 10 to 20 bites, okay? And it's like, I'm so fed up. I'm so itchy. It's so frustrating. It doesn't matter if I have bug spray on, because then too, if you put on bug spray, it's like, well, I have to sleep like in my car, and so like, am I gonna shower, like blah blah blah. It's like all these logistics, and so sometimes it's just like, bro, I am just tired of being bit by mosquitoes. And like, I've definitely broken down and just been like, I can't do this anymore, it's too many mosquitoes, you know. I don't know, so that's a thing. So now we're on number 2, and number 2 is kind of that same like weighted over time breaking down kind of feeling. It's never just like, oh, this is the first time it's happened. It's like, you know, you're just like at your wit's end. And for me, number 2 is when I want to sleep in, but like sometimes given the season, given where you are, given your elevation, given the vehicle that you're in, honestly, there's like no vehicle that could prevent it, because like at some point you're just gonna feel it. It's like you just can't sleep in because the sun literally just like bakes you awake, like you're in an oven, and the rays are coming in and you're in there, you're just in there. And so it's like by the time it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes like you do not have a choice. Like you're not allowed to sleep. You're not allowed to sleep. Like the sun is like, you know. And after a while, I feel like that can just like be a lot. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to sleep. But the sun's like, well, I'm just trying to exist. So, you know, what are we going to do? And it's like, obviously you're not going to beat the sun. So it just is what it is. And so, yeah, so it's a matter of like planning to like go to sleep earlier sometimes. But then even then, sometimes it's so hot, even like till 11 p.m., midnight. So you just have like this small little window where it kind of like cools down. And it's like, all you want in the world is to sleep for like 8 to 10 hours, but it ain't gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just have to end all of these with like, yeah, I've definitely cried over that multiple times, because it can just be a lot sometimes. And then last but not least, we've got number 1, which, okay, I have to preface this with like, how do I say this? This is... I feel like people are gonna judge me for this so hardcore. Like, bro, okay, I am the type of person where like, it doesn't matter what vehicle I've lived in. Like, there's proof on this channel, okay? Like, y'all have seen every rendition of showering that I have like come up with, like the vehicles I've done it in, etc., etc. Like, I am a big like shower person, even if I'm camping, living in a car, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, showers, love them so much. That doesn't change the fact that it can be like really hot outside. You can be doing a lot of like activities where you sweat, and so like, you know, people have body odor and you just like stink sometimes. And so for me, I am a person who is like, I'm not like super sensitive to smell, I don't think, like, but I'm more sensitive to smell than like a lot of people I know, I guess. And so basically number 1 is like, sometimes even with showering and, well, yeah, even with showering and stuff, it's like sometimes my underarms will just be so stinky. Like, it doesn't matter how much I scrub them, like whatever. And even then it's like, okay, I could shower and then in 20 minutes I'm just stinky again, bro, because like it's hot, I'm sweating, I'm climbing, I'm hiking, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know. Sometimes I'm in a car and it doesn't have AC, like that's just the life. But I will get so stinky that it makes me nauseous and like, I don't know, it's like, again, that like breakdown over time where I'm like, bro, I just want to not be nauseous, I just want to not be stinky, like why is this my life, you know? So that's number 1. But for that one, I actually do have a couple of tips, because if you wash your underarms with either benzoyl peroxide, witch hazel, or alcohol, and maybe there's like a couple of other things as well, but like those 3 for sure, like I have tried, they will help so immensely, like, and take away the smell like that. It's kind of crazy, actually. So haven't cried over that first one in quite a while since I've gotten that advice and implemented it. But let me just tell you, like, the amount of times that I have cried because I myself just smell so bad to me that then it makes me nauseous, like, it's kind of embarrassing, but like it is what it is, you know, like that's living in a car for you. I'll actually just like add this on here too, just because like why not, like why not make the video a little bit longer. But in regards to like, okay, this isn't like the list anymore, and like I haven't cried over this, but this is just like in reference to me having like kind of a sensitive smell, whatever. It's just that like I get asked a lot, like, or I get told a lot you should have a dog with you or something like that, and it's like, oh, I do get asked why I don't have a dog, but I also get told a lot that like I should have a dog, which is like, I mean, I get where people are coming from, and I think there's a way to go about it where like people are telling me and they're not trying to be weird about it, but then some people are just like too much about it, like, excuse me. But that's like part of the reason why I don't have an animal also like with me in my vehicle, is because I've traveled with like a friend and their pet before, and like, yo, I would wake up every morning and just like I would have to go outside and like get fresh air and like air out the van and like all this stuff, because I'm like, bro, I can like not, like I can't, something about like the smell, like honestly, okay, not even to be like any kind of way, but there's some people as well that like I cannot share a small space with them. Like even if we're like super close friends, it's almost like there has to be like kind of like a tester period. Like, can we share a bedroom? Can we share a hotel room? You know, before like I can invite you in my van. Because sometimes like it's not even that the person like smells bad. It's just like we all have our own pheromones and like BO, even if we're not like sweaty and stinky, right? We all just have like a smell. Like that's just like facts, okay? And like I don't know, there's just like a lot of people's smells that like I cannot, like I will literally wake up and like have to throw up, and then it feels offensive. Like I feel like I'm being mean to the person, like I'm telling them that they like smell bad, which is like, it's not that you smell bad, it's just like I can't handle your smell. But like I can't even handle my own smell sometimes, you know? So like I'm not trying to be like any kind of way. But anyways, that's like why I don't have a dog or cat or like animal also like travel with me. And only like certain people will I kind of invite into my tiny little space, because it's like, I don't know, I'm pretty sensitive to smell. So anyways, fun facts about me, I suppose. I'm just outing myself, and now I sound like an a-hole, but I don't mean it in that way. It's like, if I could help it, like that wouldn't be a thing. That would, you know, I wouldn't choose that life. Not even one bit, but that's the life I live. So anyways, so yeah, I don't have a lot else to say other than that's my list of like random things that I've cried about over the years. And just so I could show you this like footage that I had from Colorado. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you have anything that you would add to like your own list, or, you know, go ahead, judge away. Like it's whatever. I don't stink that much anymore, okay? because of those things. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.